Mr. Stanishev, does the new Bulgarian government has a clear view on the Europe 2020 strategy?
I don't think that the new Bulgarian government has a clear strategy on anything, including Europe 2020, because it is a paradox that while all around Europe you have very serious debates about how do we want to see Europe in 10 years and what is the place of each individual country, in Bulgaria this debate is almost absent. Only the president and the Socialist Party are trying to initiate public debates on this issue, because it is important for the country to know how we shall become a successful European country. In which part of Europe, not geographically, but economically, socially, we want to see Bulgaria. What are our priorities? Do we invest in certain areas of industry? What is the future of Bulgarian agriculture? How we shall make Bulgaria more environmental? How shall we increase the level of education? And shall we actually focus on knowledge, innovation, research in order to become a competitive country? Or shall we be only a country of tourism, partially agriculture, and services? This is a very serious debate, and I haven't heard even a single word publicly from the government or initiating a roundtable or serious discussion with the political parties, the trade unions, the employers and the NGOs on this issue. And this is why we as opposition are intending to initiate such debates in order to call for public attention on this issue and debate with all circles in the society on how to become stronger, more successful as a country, more coherent as a country, and a success story in the European Union.
Here in Brussels, you have met with Socialist leader Martin Schulz, and you said, both of you, that Europe 2020 should be more ambitious. This is a message to Mr. Barroso, obviously.
Well, this is a message both to the European Commission and the European institutions as the European Parliament and the European Council in the end. Because we are in the end of the Lisbon strategy. So let's first of all answer to the question, was Lisbon strategy successfully implemented? Have we achieved the goals of the Lisbon strategy? And then on that basis say, okay, in 10 years we want to achieve new goals. Which are they? And they should be, I would say, much more clearly indicated. How we make European economy more competitive, how we develop research, innovation, what do we do with education, and finally, it is important not to forget that the European model is unique by being social model of countries and nations. So how we strengthen the European social model. We are in the midst of a very heavy systemic crisis of modern capitalism. How do we change the market? How do we change the financial systems? And how we focus on sustainable growth? Because only the numbers of economic growth, of decline, is not representing the life in the societies and in the countries of the European Union. It is important this growth eventually, which will happen, I hope, after the crisis, to be sustainable, to be balanced, to be inclusive. And this is a very serious challenge for European socialists, and this is what we shall be discussing just in half an hour at the meeting of the PS leaders and prime ministers.
Should cohesion be one of the targets?
Yes, definitely. I think cohesion, regional policy should be part of the targets.
Do you think that the research and development target is attainable for Bulgaria? 3% seems to be a very high percentage.
This is a very high percentage, and I would say that in the last 4 years Bulgaria was moving in this direction, at least from the point of view of public spending on research and development, because in 2005 it was 0.3% of the GDP. In 2009 it was 1% of only public financing of research and development and science. Of course, there is the issue of how to stimulate the business community to invest in research and development in order to become more pragmatic also in the spendings. What we are seeing that now Bulgaria and the new Bulgarian government has subdued everything only to one goal: fiscal balance.
There was even an idea from your successor to close the Academy of Science.
Sure, there was an idea which was formulated by the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, who said that they're Stalinist older guys who are feudals in the Academy of Science, and it is not needed as an institution. This is the oldest institution in Bulgaria, 140 years old. I don't say that it doesn't need reform, but every reform should be thoughtful, first of all, and should have a strategy, and should not lead to a distinguishing or closing of such important institutions. And the reality is that this government, as I said, is subduing all policies to fiscal goals. As a consequence, the financing of research and development this year is 40% less than it was in 2009. And the consequence will be that Bulgaria will get more far away from the goals which are common European than it was 1 or 2 years before.
Basically, you say that you cannot achieve growth by belt tightening.
No, you can't. Belt tightening cannot be a goal for itself, because the philosophy cut, and everything will be balanced and everything will get normalized is not helping, because it is creating a vicious circle in which economy is not working because of this belt tightening policy, because the state is not paying to the business community on the basis of contracts which have been even implemented, and they cannot collect revenues on that basis. Apart from this, the companies are dying, going towards bankruptcies and firing people. Unemployment grew in half a year, a little more, by almost 6%, which is very serious, very worrying. And in the end, we are having a situation when the government cannot even collect revenues. And this is becoming a snowball, which can create tremendous problems for the country, for the people. And if there will be no radical changes in the policy of the government, in several months we shall face very dramatic situations.
Thank you, Mr. Stanishev.